Race fans, good day and welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway. You can see it on this guy's flag and you see it on this guy's head. Excitement here in the NASCAR garage and lots of surprises. Hey, David Reagan on the top of the practice board today. GarageCam's full of surprises. We're live, raw, uncut, interactive. I'm your host, Matthew Dillner. Join us in that chat room. If you're watching this live on NASCAR.com, hop in, tell us who you are, what you want to see here today on NASCAR.com, and let's have some fun. Check it out. Our first driver right here, Landon Castle, joining us live on NASCAR.com GarageCam.
I'm here with the famous Harry McMullen. He's got a new little company called
Business
Technosports.
card.
Yeah. With we've got the camo car.
Tell us about the camo car. It's an interesting sponsorship too.
Yeah, it's
Attitude
Wildfire
Attire.
camo. It's by Moonshine Attitude Attire. You can go to their website and get some of their apparel. They make hunting stuff. You can wrap your gun, and
We need to wrap you in some.
you can wrap your baby. You can wrap your grandma. Whatever you want to
We
wrap.
need to wrap you in some moonshine.
Fire suit. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
that's the
And you
next
wouldn't have been
step.
able to find him to interview him, though.
What?
Then you wouldn't be able to find him to interview him. He would have been
we
camouflaged
would.
and
He'd
hidden.
He'd be hidden. But Landon Castle, Bristol, from the driver's seat for the fans watching on GarageCam, could you put into words what taking a lap around Bristol is like?
It's on edge here. I mean, you're definitely on edge. You're definitely, right now it's the fastest way around the track is up against the wall. So it's a wild lap, and it's a short one, but it's a wild one for
It's
sure.
tough because when you're coming out of the corner, when you lose all that rubber, that's where it's a little tough, isn't it?
Yeah, and and when you're coming out of the corner, there's no time to rest. I mean, you're going right back into it. So I don't know. I love this racetrack. It's fun, but it's gonna be hard to pass. I mean, I think you're gonna have a mirrored version of the old Bristol, where we used to run the bottom and root each other up out of the way. Well, now we run the top and root each other out of the way. So whatever, it's fun.
All right,
500 laps is a long time though.
Well, thanks for joining us,
Thanks,
Landon
Matt.
Castle, always on GarageCam here. And there is this car, if you can see it there on your computer screens. And it's Mike Bliss, the number 19 car. And we're going to spin you onto pit road here real quick, but we have to say the first person in the chat room, let's see, come on, we got to give the Marco Rocks 24. Marco Rocks 24, you were the first person in the interactive garage today. Josh Mabe, you wanted to see Landon Castle in the 33. Well, hey, he's not in the 33 this weekend. We just showed you that. He's in the number 40 car, the Mike Hillman-owned machine. Camouflage. Well, here we are. We're not in the garage area, folks. We're actually out on pit road here at Bristol. If you've seen the show before, Bristol GarageCam is a little bit different. And who knows what we're going to see, but we are going to be up close to the machines here and hopefully some of the drivers as well. This is your best bet if you don't have an all-access pass into the NASCAR garage area. This is what we try to do for you on NASCAR.com, is make you feel like you're part of the action. Scott Speed, the number 95 car here. Here's a guy that was up on top of the charts for some time during practice, and that's Michael McDowell, this number 98, fresh off a one heck of a run. Second place finish at Mid-Ohio in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. The Petty's Victory Junction gang camp on the hood of this number 98 Ford, owned by Phil Parsons. Here is the number 87 car as we're starting to get your, see this? Here we go. We'll show you again. We love showing you. So just so you fans know, we are monitoring the chat room right here. Sometimes we might miss some of your chats, but Sprint provides us this beautiful tablet where we get to monitor the chat room right here and see what you guys are requesting, and that's the interwebs Chuck Bush. Josh Wise in this number 35 car. Got a new sponsor on board for this weekend for the 35 ride. Carson Newman University on the quarter panels of this Front Row Motorsports Ford as we pass Nebenchek's car. And you see right here what we're going to see a lot of at Bristol. A little bit of scuffing here on a short track. Saturday night action ready for you tomorrow, but today the practice sessions here for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, and you'll see a lot of this. Little scuffs on the side of Travis Quapple's number 93.
Used to work in a body shop. Can you tell? Tell his good work.
What'd
Travis Quapple used to work in a body shop before he was racing. Check out some of his handiwork right here.
He did good.
He did pretty
Hey,
good.
but you got to go fast to put a scuff on it, right?
That's right. He's showing him that you can take the same car from Darlington and run it here. Just lay over decals.
It's a Bristol stripe, baby. Here's the number 32 car. That was Quapple's crew member. That was pretty funny. Here's a number 32 car. Timmy Hill not behind the wheel this week. I just did see Timmy. Timmy Hill not behind the wheel this week. It is Ken Schrader. Of course, as soon as you see that Federated Auto Parts, you know that. Kenny Schrader, of course, having a good season so far. The big win in the ARCA Series at Toledo. And, of course, the pole at Eldora. The veteran, Kenny Schrader. Used to love watching him in the Red Baron Pizza car back when I was a kid watching this on TV, and now we're blessed to be here in the garage bringing the show to you. Jason Patrick, number 8. What an awesome venue. Bristol never gets old. And as we give you a little spin, a 360 of where we are right now, no, it does not. If you've ever been to Bristol, you will understand what we're talking about. 360 view right here of some of the most colossal grandstands you will ever witness in your life. Number 36, that's J.J. Yalley right here, who A.J. Allmendinger said on GarageCam the other week that he would like to put up a challenge for the best hair in NASCAR. J.J. Yalley, one heck of a fast race car driver himself, one of only 3 drivers in the history of USAC to win the Triple Crown, that is the championships in the midgets, sprints, and Silver Crown division in 1 year. The other 2 drivers to do that, A.J. Foyt, Tony Stewart. This guy right here, J.J. Yalley, a very big talent. Tony Raines, the former ASA star and NASCAR Camping World Truck Series winner. The number 33 ride. Good to see Tony Raines. This is a car that Landon Castle drives a lot, while Landon is over there in the number 40 car this week. Big old Tony Raines is back in the Cup Series this week in this 33. David Rudiman. I think it's apparent that the Burger King BK Racing rides, well, maybe they're a little scuffy today. As we try to wipe off some of those scuff marks here on David Rudiman's ride. The Red Rocket here, Dr. Pepper and Burger King on board. The crew getting this car prepped right now. And hey, there's David Stremmy's car. See if we'll see David Stremme around. He was excited last night when we said GarageCam would be today. Stremme, one of the drivers that always gets excited to talk to you guys, the fans, in the Lean 1, number 30. Widow Wax Toyota here in the Sprint Cup Series. Oh, wait, there he is. Okay, so we can't ignore him. If we see a driver, folks, we're going to talk to him. We're going to try to talk to him. And come on, let's hop over the wall. See the wall? We got to hop over this. It's a little exercise today for Cam Guy and Audio Guy as we roll underneath the shade here. And there is David Stremme.
How are you guys
Hey, you got
doing?
it made in the shade, brother.
Yeah. I need about 2 tents. Do you know where I can get that?
We can go find it for you.
Yeah. I'm talking to my old buddy Steve Williams here.
Hi, Steve Williams. Hey there.
He was involved with NASCAR, and then he's gone to Indy cars and doing stuff on the business side, and we were talking about auto racing and everything. And
You talking about racing? I thought you liked just talking about football and badminton.
no,
And
I talk about auto racing all the time.
So, Stremme, we asked Landon Castle about this racetrack. You know, fans that are watching GarageCam here, there's some things that they want to know. What is it like taking a lap here around Bristol? Because we all see it. We know it's so action-packed, but, you know, it's got to be, you almost lose your place around this one.
Well, it is a little bit. It's actually gotten easier, I think, from when they first reconfigured the whole Bristol. When I first come here, and they had a bad bump off of 2, and you had to run right on the bottom, and you had a lot more bumping and running and things going on, and I guess you'd say gouging. Now the track's wide enough, you can move around as we've seen in practice, you know, guys running high, and there's grip up there, but the problem is by the time we race there tomorrow, that's going to be black top to bottom, and I want to be able to get my car handling where there's the rubber in that. So as far as driving around here, it's probably a little easier. It's just a small Dover. It's still fast. Things happen fast. But, and I don't mean this in no disrespect to this place, but when I go run Winchester, that place gets my attention. You run dead against the wall, it's rough. Here it's just smooth, and now you can move around so much. So it's a little different, but I'm sure if you go ask Mark Martin and a lot of them guys, and Kyle, you know, him and I have talked about it, they'd say the same thing.
Let me ask you real quick, okay, some people like the old Bristol where it was one groove around the bottom, you had to move somebody to pass them, so you saw a lot of maybe boredom, but then it would explode, okay, almost like a Bowman Gray thing if you're a short track guy. Some people like the new Bristol kind of, where there's 2-3 grooves of racing. You see a lot more side by side. What about you, David Stremme?
I like the new Bristol, but the fans got to understand, I think the drivers, the equipment, everything's better than what it was. The tires better. Listen, I'm telling y'all right now, there'll probably be a lot of gouging and bumping and banging going on here tomorrow and tonight. It's not like we just sit out there and ride around. And for those of you just watching on TV, this place, TV cannot do justice at so much that's going on here. So I really highly advise you to come here, watch it in person. I know tonight I'll go watch in the grandstands, but I like the new Bristol. I love it.
All right, David Stremme, thanks for joining us, bud, as always. Always appreciate him. The number 30 car, the Lean 1 machine. One of the drivers that does well for his sponsors, especially here on GarageCam, and gains a lot of new fans because of it. Go by the TBR entry, the number 7 of Dave Blaney. And D. Gilly, the number 38, the other front row motorsports ride. He too a little scuffing on the right side of that machine. Mark, this is my last GarageCam before school starts. Let's see the 38. Well, there you go, Mark. Man, you might have to redo that school schedule or something. I don't know what grade you're in, if you're in college or whatnot, but see if you can make it happen. We always have different times every week, but hopefully we can have you on the show. We love and appreciate all of the fans that tune in each week on GarageCam. Kathy Folks, you would like to see Bobby Labonte. Bushes, please, you say? Well, you know what? Because you requested a driver and you requested baked beans. I like you. There it is. Get out and grill on the number 47 car of Bobby Labonte. I love it. Hey, food just gets me, I got to tell you. Kimberly Underwood, you would love to see Ricky and Danica. Well, you're staying around the grid long enough, you'll probably see them together. But here is Danica Patrick's number 10 machine right here. The GoDaddy number 10 with a nice little smoke will rise on board. If you guys watch practice on Fox Sports 1 or followed Alan Cavana and myself on Twitter, you might have seen or heard that Tony Stewart was actually able to talk with his drivers during practice racing electronics. Those folks hooking up a system with Tony at home in Charlotte through the use of internet, where he can communicate directly with this team on the radio, to communicate with his drivers. Was on the radio with Mark Martin, and tell you what, pretty cool technology, huge part of this sport. And GoDaddy, one of the internet companies involved in the sport, it all gets paired together. So Tony Stewart, of course, we wish him all the best as he recovers from that sprint car accident. And a real racer, Tony Stewart. We definitely miss seeing him here every week. Peanut Patch on board the number 34 car, and this 34 car has been fast. If you look right there above the Peanut Patch car, there is the giant scoreboard at Bristol. 3-4 on top of the board, ahead of Jimmy Johnson, who was leading up until late in practice when this front row motorsports number 34 hit the track and knocked him off. I Brake for Trains on board, that Food City, of course, big sponsor here in Bristol locally. We went to Food City yesterday and got a big old sandwich. That you could see that sandwich. Maybe you'll see a sandwich. Okay, a little teaser. Maybe you'll see a sandwich if you watch Fantasy Updates Sunday morning. Shh, don't tell. Brandon Blood, could you please show us Martin Truex Jr., please? Well, you know what? We'll get up to that number 56, but first, we want to show you the Sea-Watch Got Clams car, the number 51. Why? That's Ryan Truex, little brother. Check it out, the number 51. And there's Ryan Truex, and there, of course, well, it's upside down, so maybe we could go like this. Can you see it now, folks? Is it right side up for you? Got clams. All right. Okay, hopefully you guys didn't need Advil after that one. The number 51 car of Ryan Truex, young racer, making his Cup Series debut. We are halfway. See, we got a flagman. Do that again. It's kind of like old school flagman. Halfway through the show. Casey Mears, the number 13 car right there. And hey, there's Ben Runge. What's up, Ben? What's happening, everybody? Give a shout out to the fans on GarageCam.
Matt Dillner's the man.
Oh, no, you're supposed to say something about Geico and Casey Mears and all these guys.
Matt Dillner's the man. Oh, Casey Mears is a good driver.
Yeah, okay, good, okay. Well, we got to say Casey Mears is the man. It's the Geico car, or that's the man right there, the Geico Gecko. Here is Denny Hamlin's car. Denny Hamlin, of course, wanting to make the bleeding stop for a disappointing season so far for this team. Of course, it's all happened. We're talking fines at the beginning of the year when we were here, press conference after a little fine, and then, of course, injury and missing races, and then DNFs, and it's just been a nightmare for Denny Hamlin. This team looking to pick up where they left off last year, get the mojo working again. And speaking of mojo, this number 42 car was in the top 10, I believe, in practice. They just took my cheat sheet away on the board there, but that's okay. We don't have to cheat. The number 42 of Juan Pablo Montoya has been fast pretty much everywhere we've gone lately. Of course, Juan Pablo announcing he won't be back with this team, but I'll tell you what, a lot of desire with a lot of these racers that are pit crew guys on this team, and with Juan Pablo himself. And there's the great Gonzo himself, Juan's assistant with his helmet. Maybe he'll wave to us. We love Gonzo here on GarageCam. Marcus Ambrose, the number 9 DeWalt car. Check it out, maybe give you a few shout outs here on GarageCam. Hey, look at that. We got a Jeff Burton request. I like it. I like when we get different requests. Let's get some different and fun requests here as we pass the other half of Stanica, which is Ricky Stenhouse here. We had a request for them. Shelly Hanote. Hey, Matt, can you go on the track? Huh. Come on, guys. I say why not? Well, Mr. Hoots may not like it if I step over this wall, but there will be a nationwide race later today. But let's go over the wall here. You see right here we have the walls. These are the safer barriers, which is basically styrofoam secured in place by straps in between that concrete barrier and a metal retaining wall right there. You can see the straps right there with the pins that lock in the walls. And right there, Bristol Motor Speedway. There it is. We're over there. We're on the track. What a great track this is. Hey, we had a request. Who was the request for Jeff Burton? Because that's awesome. I love it. We don't get enough Jeff Burton requests, I believe, on NASCAR.com GarageCam. So Renmau 40, I hope I pronounced it right, but Renmau 40, here is Jeff Burton's number 31 car right there for you. The Caterpillar, Chevrolet, RCR, Tigra. Your husband's having chemo, only one more treatment left. Can you show the 43 car for you and your husband? We can show you that 43 car, but even better, we can show you this guy himself. And he's giving a little smirk. All right, we had a fan request seeing Mr. Eric Amarola. And
Don't get in the way with your mic.
What'd you say?
Don't get in the way with your mic.
Oh yeah, that
My
mic
guys,
right there.
My guys are hard at work.
The guys are hard at work. We'll squeeze in here. Eric Amarola, tell me about your first practice so far here at Bristol.
It was pretty good. Rain Eater Wiper Blades Ford Fusion. That's a mouthful.
You handled it well.
I did. It's pretty good. We just been trying a lot of different stuff. We got a lot of ideas on some tests that we've done here the last few weeks, and we got through a long checklist of things that we wanted to try, and we found some things that were pretty good. So we're going to switch over to qualifying trim, and this race, it's Bristol, and it's going to be a lot about track position. It seems like already it's starting to turn into a one-groove racetrack up against the fence. So we're going to have to qualify well. So we're going to make a big effort here these next 45 minutes to lay down a good qualifying lap.
Real quick, I saw an interesting feature on you in a magazine, NASCAR Illustrated, where you got to go back home to your roots.
Yeah.
How important is that to do that? And then, what perspective does that give you, being here in such the limelight of the Sprint Cup Series?
It's really neat to be able to go home. I don't get to go home very often. I get to go home for Christmas sometimes. But, it's neat to go back home, and I went back and visited the school that I grew up in, and we went to the shop where I grew up, watching my grandfather race out of, and then I go-kart raced out of it, and late model raced out of it. So a lot of late nights in that shop, and it's fun to get that kind of recognition and to go back home and to kind of show off where the beginning of your journey was.
That's awesome. Eric Amarola, thanks for joining us on GarageCam. We always appreciate it.
Have fun.
And there is the number 43 car right there. as we pass it by. And you see a little scuff mark on the back there. Hey, that just means he's getting after it, baby. You got to be going fast to put it on edge here. Here's the number 55 car of Brian Vickers. Of course, if you're a fantasy watcher, if you're a fantasy player, if you're a fantasy advocate, whatever it be, make sure you play Fantasy Live on NASCAR.com. Check out Fantasy Showdown each and every Wednesday. And check out Fantasy Update, your Sunday morning update from the track every week. This guy right here, fantasy owners, could be pretty much a stud this week, or one to watch your plan to perform pick from Farmers Insurance on NASCAR Fantasy Showdown. Brian Vickers, I'll tell you what, the 55, very fast here. A lot of news coming out of this camp. Roddy Childers, the crew chief of this machine, the former late model racer in Concord, North Carolina, making the headlines this morning. He will be leaving this 55 MWR team and moving to Stewart-Haas Racing to be the crew chief of Kevin Harvick over at Stewart-Haas next season. So a lot of big things in the news for this team, but I'll tell you what, they're worried about going fast here this weekend, and they got a driver and a team that can do it. The number 27, Paul Menard, off an awesome run last week at Michigan. Wasn't really expected by many to have the run that they had, but I'll tell you what, this 27 team really woke up and showed them what they had. The number 1 car, Big Mac, Jamie McMurray, right here. And as we look at Ryan Newman's car, hey, there's Bob Dillner and Jamie McMurray having a little conversation by the McDonald's one, a little wave from Jamie Mack. There's Jamie. Talking with brother Bob by the McDonald's number 1. And there's the number 39 of Ryan Newman, the Quicken Loans machine, the number 39. And a guy that's won here 5 times at Bristol. One of only 3 drivers, active drivers, leading the list of wins here. 5 wins for Jeff Gordon. Can he make it number 60? Some say he needs that win so bad to try to make it into this chase. Paul Wellnitz, please head over and check out Jeff Gordon's car and his helmet. Try to see if we can get in there and show you his helmet real quick. Come on. All right, he's got the little flame helmet going on this week. Give you a good look at the hat. The Exalta logo on the front of it for Jeff Gordon. What'd you say?
I said, don't you get any fingerprints on that thing?
Just as long as they're not your fingerprints.
Oh, well, I'll touch yours if you touch, well, you know.
Hey, great hair, by the way.
Not as good as yours.
How are the tires going today?
Tires are doing great. They're holding up real well. It's fast here. Man, we're hauling the mail here.
Oh, yeah. All right, bud. You have a good day,
You
okay?
too.
Keep that hair looking good.
Thanks.
5 minutes to go on Garage Game. Hey, Bob Dillner. How you doing? Fox Sports 1 kicked off, and you've been a busy boy, haven't you?
Absolutely. Did the modifieds. Awesome seeing the mighty modifieds around the high banks of Bristol Wednesday. The truck series. Now both cup practices today, and there's no news going on whatsoever.
Oh, no. No silly season.
No contract extensions
No,
or
nothing.
new contract offers. Kurt Busch not in the news. Rodney Childers not in the news. Brian Vickers not in the news. So don't even pay attention to NASCAR.com right now.
No, actually, pay attention and watch this guy on Fox Sports 1 today. Coverage all day from the Fox Sports 1 gang. And there is Joey Logano's machine as he climbs into his car here. We'll see him inside the cockpit right there, beyond his helmet, squeezing into that thing after the big win at Michigan last week. Pretty cool to see Joey get the big win at Michigan. And we'll try to squeeze through here because there is Mark Martin. There's the number 14 car right there. We'll let these photographers snap a few pictures here momentarily, and we'll try to squeeze in front of them real quick. And here is that number 14. And it's Mark Martin. And here's a guy who had Mark Martin as a mentor. Big win last week, buddy. Big smile on your face still.
Yeah,
I see it right there.
Seems like there is a big smile right now. Car's pretty good again.
Yeah, I saw you top 10 on the board, so you
Yeah.
got to be continuing to smile there and getting some speed here at Bristol.
Close. We're trying to ride the momentum out here, so we get 3 races. No mistakes for 3 races.
Is it confusing to see Mark sitting over there in like camouflage and in the 14?
I don't know who the heck drives that car anymore.
All right, Joey Logano getting his Hans device on here. Hey, and there's Bob Dillner again, sneaking in, and he's talking with Mark Martin, of course. 2 people that basically started their career in ASA. Bob Dillner, of course, my brother, started his career in modifieds, but working the ASA scene for so long. And there's Mark Martin, the veteran, driving this car, the number 14 for the remainder of the season, with the exception of Talladega. So all you Mark Martin fans, all you Tony Stewart fans, the Mobile One machine has the veteran on board. Look out. Speaking of veterans, there's veteran tire guy, Russell, getting it done on the tires with the digital camo.
Quality, selection, and service.
And here's a guy that I guess we could call a veteran now. What's up? We were just saying you're kind of like a veteran now. And you got little Ryan in the Cup Series now.
Does that mean I'm old?
I don't know. Well, do you have any grays going in the goatee yet?
No, just on my head.
Running pretty good today in practice. How is this Napa Toyota?
It's pretty good. We got a few issues we're working through, but got good speed in it, so that's good. We'll be all right. See what happens.
It's Bristol, baby.
It's Bristol, baby.
All right, Mark Truex Jr. in that Napa car right there. We'll show you a good look at this car right here, the number 56 car with that awesome helmet. Nick Pastora painted helmet. Look at the back of that thing. That is absolutely cool. Nick Pastora doing a great job with that helmet, of course. And Martin getting on board here.
We specialize in recycling.
Moving the steering wheel and hopping in.
What does that have to do with me, you ask? Well, for one.
And here is the number 5 car of Casey Kane. The Blue Rocket. Pretty cool looking car, almost like Carolina blue. We always like to see it. Leah Bartlett, need to see my favorite car. Blue Lightning is what you call it, number 5 car of Casey Kane. And there is Biff, Greg Biffle, the number 3M Bondo machine. Looks like it could use a little bit of their product sponsor today. A little scuff on the right side of that vehicle right now, the Ford of Greg Biffle. His crew working hard. Number 78 of Kurt Busch. Just fast every week, it looks like. And there's Dale Earnhardt Jr. Speaking of fast. Marty Smith right there. How you doing, Marty Smith? Boom on GarageCam.
I'm getting heckled.
And we haven't talked to this guy in a long time on GarageCam. Because you always say I sneak up to you, like really kind of sneaky. But now you're out in the open, so it's fair game. So how are you doing, Matt Kenseth?
Still didn't see it coming here, still sneaking.
How could you miss me? I'm huge. Literally.
How am I doing? I've had better days.
Yeah. That's it? That's all you got for me?
That's all I got for you.
It's Bristol. For the fans watching on GarageCam, it's kind of a generic question. But I'd love to ask it because the fans watching would love to know what a lap around Bristol is like. It's so different now. What is a lap around Bristol like?
Well, it depends on the lap and how you're running. So there's, everybody's kind of stuck on the top once you get going to the race. It's really fast right now. It's really treacherous because it's kind of slick until it gets rubbered up. So practice is interesting. Everybody kind of starts in the bottom, ends up on the top, and there's a lot of speed to be had there. So just trying to get through as much stuff as we can today. It's sunny and hot, and we race tomorrow night, so try to make our best guess and hopefully get it right for tomorrow.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt Kenseth. And you will see that groove move up even further during this practice session. And, of course, you'll see it move up even further on Saturday night as these Sprint Cup Series cars hit the track. And, hey, there's a guy that, if I was a fantasy owner, we were talking about fantasy before, I'd probably put him in my car, and that is the number 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Has a pretty darn good record here at Bristol, has a win here, of course. Kurt Busch, that was all the talk that Bob Dillner, and everybody's been talking about the contract extension possibly here at the number 78 car. Will he go with Stuart Haas? There supposedly is a contract extension on the table starting this weekend with the number 78. Bob Dillner reporting that today on Fox Sports 1. And there is Greg Biffle sitting on the wall over there. We have about 1 minute, I believe. 1 minute left, so we're going to roll real quick here. There is Carl Edwards' machine passing us by. There's the guy you got to watch out for. He could pull the triple this week, going for it. He's done it here before. Kyle Busch, the number 18, really fast, but you see that scuff right there. Let's give you a good look at that right there. All you Kyle Busch fans, a little scuff on the right side of that number 18 machine, hanging it out there. There is the Jimmy John's number 29 of Kevin Harvick. Tigra, you always want to see Kevin Harvick, please and thank you. Clint Boyer. Well, there is Clint Boyer. And as the cars hit the track here live at Bristol Motor Speedway, we'll give you your last look at the drivers here. Kevin Harvick, the number 29. Clint Boyer, the 15. And 5-time Jimmy Johnson, the man in white this weekend here at Bristol Motor Speedway. If you haven't been here before to Bristol, you need to get your butt here. What an amazing, spectacular arena of sport. Even if you're not a racing fan, all the grandstands here packed on Saturday night. Make sure you watch on ABC at 7:30 tomorrow night, where you can see Clint Boyer and all these stars in the Sprint Cup Series do battle the Irwin Coons Night Race. Hey, we got to say happy birthday to Kenny Wallace over there in the Nationwide Garage, turning 50 today. He's going to be watching as these cars and stars in the Sprint Cup Series hit the track. They're on the track now for practice. I'm your host, Matthew Dillner, for GarageCam, for everybody on NASCAR.com. Thanks for watching, and until next time, we'll see you at the races.